to share with you guys 5 reasons why owner-operator fails. Now, these are not the only 5 reasons, but these are the 5 reasons that I've observed in my 14 years of being in the industry. So number 1, which is number 5, they try to scale too fast. You try to move too fast, try to buy all this equipment, and you end up really overdoing yourself, overextending yourself. Driver retention is really tough, especially when you're a smaller company. And you know, once you get established, and it takes time to get established, and you know, you can bring on more people, but a lot of drivers that start companies try to move too fast by buying too much equipment, and then something happens. The customer that they had goes out of business, the market takes a dive, and now you're back with paying all these notes and paying drivers with money that you don't really have. So now you got to go to the bank and get a loan, and you end up overextending yourself. I've seen people have 10 trucks, and think that they got it all mastered and got it all figured out, and then next thing you know, they're out of business, trying to sell all their equipment, liquidate everything to avoid going bankrupt or filing for bankruptcy. So don't try to move too fast. Just take your time, do it slowly but surely, and you will absolutely succeed. You will absolutely make it. So they try to scale too fast. Number 4, they don't know how to calculate their cost per mile. You don't know what it's costing you to move your truck. Every mile costs you something. If you don't know what every mile is costing you, you are losing out on money. So you need to know how much, and I'm going to do a separate video on how to calculate your cost per miles, because you need to know your total miles, your gross miles. You need to know your loaded empty miles. You need to know how much it's costing you for each one, how much it's costing you when you have weight, how much it's costing you when you don't have weight. But you also need to know overall, what is it costing you for every mile that truck is turning or not turning. You need to know how much it's costing you per week for that vehicle to not move. So you need to know every expense that is related to your industry or in your business specifically. Like if you had if you were selling t-shirts, you would know what every t-shirt costs you to print, to buy, and to ship. You would know every cost, so you would factor that in what you charge for that particular item. So if you don't know what it's costing you per mile, then it's very important that you continue. You definitely need to subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a video on how to calculate your cost per mile. So that's number 4. Number 3, you need to know how to negotiate with brokers. But if you don't know your cost per mile, you will not know how to negotiate with brokers. Like I said, if you have an item that you know what it's going to cost you to ship it, make it, all the materials that it costs, then you can actually charge. You know what to charge your customer. You know what discounts you can take. You know what promotions you can make. You know what you can do when you know how much it's cost you. You know your bottom line, and you know what you minimally need to make, and you know what you can maximally make on this particular item. Same thing with trucking. You have to know what every mile is going to cost you, so that you can know how to negotiate with brokers or shippers or whoever to know what you're standing to make and how fast you can move and progress in this industry. But it still requires time, which is, don't move too fast. Even though you have mastered it, still slowly take your time and move and progress. Number 2, I mean, is equipment. You have to, like, a lot of people just buy older trucks, and you know, I think for me, understanding now, if you're gonna buy an older truck, you buy it temporarily. You buy it for a temporary use, so that you can get some money up, and then you know, fix it or whatever, and then you sell it, and to buy newer equipment. You don't want to run. you can if that's what you want to do, but if you want to scale, you really can't scale with the foundation of your business being an older, used 2 million mile plus truck, at least temporarily. You know, like I said, you hustle up, get your money up, and then you start making moves to get newer and better equipment. Because if you want to start hiring drivers, they're not going to want to be driving no older trucks. They're going to be looking out here at the Swifts and the JB Hunts and all them, and they're going to be like, I want one of those. I want to be driving in one of those trucks. So the newer, the better. And if you can get a warranty, I'm telling you, people will tell you whatever they want to tell you, but warranties make a huge difference when you're having a lot of truck problems. If you ain't having really too many truck problems, of course you're going to be like, oh, well, you know, you don't need a new truck. But The moment you start having truck problem after truck problem after truck problem after truck problem, you're gonna wish you had a newer truck, or you're gonna be like, I need to trade this truck in and get something newer. So it's very important to know that if you're gonna get older equipment, make sure it's temporary, that you can use that to get your money up, to get something newer, to put yourself in a better position. It's like I want to use an example. If you go and start a restaurant and you buy equipment from a restaurant that closed down a couple years ago, you're gonna use that equipment, but you're not gonna build your whole thing off of it. You're not gonna use that equipment forever. You're gonna use it for long enough to where you can start being profitable. Then you're gonna upgrade and you're gonna get something newer. And it's the same concept, same idea. The less problems, the less mechanical problems, the better able you'll be able to scale, the better able you'll be able to progress and not stay in the same predicament. Now, I know there's a lot of theories, a lot of schools of thought and theories about why you should do this and why you should do that. That's all fine and dandy, but for me, it makes sense, because I'm looking at it like, I'm gonna do what the bigger companies are doing. They're succeeding in this industry. They're making, because really, you're not really spending that much more on a newer truck when you consider and factor in the warranty. So that's number 2. The number 1 thing is money management. Money management, and I would say time management. If you're not managing your money and you're spending all the money as if it's yours, you will eventually find yourself out of money, because you're thinking that this money that you're making in this truck is your money. It's not your money. You pay yourself a salary. You are a employee for yourself or for your company that you set up. You're not the boss of this company. The truck and the business is the boss, if you want it to succeed. Now, if you don't care, then yeah, you're the boss. But in reality, you're not the boss. The business is the boss. It pays you. Now, of course, you determine what you want to be paid. That's the only real great benefit about being an owner-operator and being, you have to, but that requires discipline, that requires money management skills, that requires understanding business. If you go to any other business, and you'll see that they don't pay themselves, they pay themselves a salary. They don't take all the money out, or all the money that's left over, and just spend it on whatever they want to spend it on. No, they set aside money that they need for things that they know will come up. So by calculating your cost per mile, you will be able to see where money needs to go. And if you stay disciplined to it, and you manage your money properly and pay yourself, you know, a decent salary to where you can live on, and then you scale to another truck and another truck as you get your footing together, then yeah, you can make it. Another thing I want to say about negotiation, like I said, knowing your cost per mile is very important, because you don't know what to offer. You don't know how much you need to make or how much you could make when the industry is going well. You need to know the areas that you're going in. You need to know the areas that the freight is potentially going in. Once you get to that area, you need to be able to scope the industry and be able to know that, okay, if I'm going to take this load here, it's going to pay me this much, but if I take it down here to Florida, I know I'm going to, well, right now Florida is not that good. You can go from anywhere to Florida and they're paying like $1.50, $1.60, $1.70 just to go down to Florida on the spot market on the board. So for the spot market, it's about $1.50 to $1.75 to go down to Florida for the most part. I've seen a couple of $2.20 mile, but per mile loads, but I'm not going down to Florida for nothing less than like $3 a mile at least, because you know you ain't getting up out of there. And if I do, I immediately got to find me something that gets me out of there, that pays me at least enough to get my fuel covered and make a little profit. But I know my cost per mile. I know what it's going to cost me. So it's easy to negotiate. I can negotiate effectively, and I don't care what nobody else makes, because I know what my bottom line is. I know what I need to make in order for me to be profitable and me to prosper in this industry and move on and scale and do other things that I want to do. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, leave them below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any other suggestions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section also. But I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on these things that I'm talking to you about. And if you like what you're hearing, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to miss it, hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. All right, y'all. I will catch you guys on the next video. This is R. Anthony with Six Figure Trucking. You guys take it easy. Peace.